as she was born, the moment that I saw her, I was like, oh, this is... Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit that magic little subscribe button. Welcome back. This is week two. Oh my god, what are we at? At 2.5 weeks or 2.5 weeks now. This is just like most of my life right now is just tandem nursing or feeding them or trying to get one to sleep or trying to get them to sleep at the same time, because like the number one thing with twins is you always want to keep them on the same schedule. But it's like really hard because they just have different needs and wants, and so it's like, you know, I try, if the you know, the biggest thing is just feeding them at the same time, but then maybe one wants to go to sleep like, you know, half an hour later, and the other one is fast asleep, and or not even half an hour later, like 2 hours later. It's just hard to keep them on the same schedule, but apparently eventually, like if you just continue to feed them at the same time, then eventually it sort of will line up eventually, but let's just say fingers crossed on that one. Thank goodness I have so much help, because I have no idea how people do or have twins without help. Every night we've kind of have like a bit of a routine right now. Basically the babies will go to sleep around 9, where whoever is here to help out, so whether it's Matisse and my mother-in-law, or like my parents or Matisse's dad are here, they'll watch one of the babies, and then Matisse will watch another one. And if they're in the carrier, they'll sleep for so long, like they'll sleep for 3 hours. So I'm guaranteed to get 3 hours at the beginning of the night. And then like getting woken up at 12 o'clock is always extremely painful. When I can hear them coming up the stairs, I'm like, no! Whoops. I just have to drop the expectation around sleep, basically, because I always think that I'm gonna like feed them for half an hour and then like go right back to sleep. But what has happened is that I get up and then I feed them almost like guaranteed I'm up for another 3 hours, so I don't go back until like 3 or 3:30. But last night, it just never happened. I just kept feeding one of them basically until 6. And then the other one woke up and I had to feed them. And then yeah. But last night was the first night. So I finally got, because we had a pump given to us, but I had to buy just some bottles to go along with it, so I can start actually officially pumping now. Yeah, Matisse was able to feed one, this little one, in the middle of the night, and that made things a lot easier on me for sure. I was able to side lie and breastfeed, which is just easier because at least I can close my eyes. I can't really like fully fall asleep because they're just so small. Like I remember with Safi, like when she got bigger and I would side lie and breastfeed, then I was able to actually fall asleep because she was like bigger and I would feel more comfortable. These ones are just, they're just so tiny still. So yeah, I'm able to at least close my eyes and feel like I'm resting rather than like sitting up like this. And yeah, so now that I'm going to start pumping, it's going to make a huge difference, I think. Just to not have that feeling of always being needed. It's just, it's demanding. It's demanding to be like, oh, I'm just gonna lie down for a nap and then hear one of them wake up and I'm like, okay, I'm the only person that can, you know, feed them. And so with pumping, it's like, at least I know, okay, no, if I go to sleep now, I'm not gonna have to be woken up to feed them. Like someone else can just go grab a bottle from the fridge and feed them themselves, and, you know, I can just sleep. So I think pumping is gonna make a huge difference. Yeah, we've also been doing something called EC, Elimination Communication, which I will probably do a video on because it's like the most incredible thing ever. I bought this top hat. It's like right over there. I just can't reach it right now. But it's like a little potty off of Amazon. And basically like the main thing is that you just want to like pick up on their cues and put them on the potty, and then they go to the bathroom. And like this morning they both had 2 poos on, or they had a poo each on the potty, and it's so easy. It's way easier to clean. And yeah, they basically like know how to go to the bathroom. Already they give us the cues to do it, and if you don't pick up on the cues, after 3 months they actually stop giving the cues. So yeah, so we've been doing that, and I like highly recommend it. Like I said, I'm gonna do a video on explaining how we've been doing it, because it's like, I can't believe we didn't do this with Safi. Like the fact that you can potty train them way earlier is just like so good. It's definitely an extra thing to do, and it's definitely harder with twins, but for me, I'm all about like, I always think about the future and like in the long run, and I'm like, oh my god, if we can have them potty trained by the time they're like a year old, that would be amazing. So yeah, we have finally committed on some names. It was really hard to commit because we didn't have any names when they were born. So, well, we had one name, which we have used. Like, I am not joking. We went through, I think, every single name that exists on this planet. It's hard. Like, it's gonna be their names forever, and you want to make sure that it's the right fit. And yeah, we like to have, you know, unique names. We don't want to like know anyone else with the same names. And it's so funny when you, with names, because like you can love a name so much. Like there's some names that I loved and Matisse would, and vice versa, would know someone that had that name, and it was like, absolutely no. Like when you know someone that has the name, it like totally spoils it for you. Like it's so crazy. For me, it was really important that all 3 of the names sounded good together. That was another big one. We also want the names to sound good in French and in Italian. So I was just sort of talking about our process with figuring out the names, which was a long one.
Yeah.
I was saying we basically went through every single name that exists on the planet, pretty much.
It's like the hardest thing is to name twins.
Oh yeah, and
especially when you don't know what they're gonna be.
You don't know what they're gonna be. You want the names to sound good together too.
Yeah.
That was, you know, like you want them to, you want it to have a ring to it. So. Especially
with Safi's name too.
I know Safi's name too, so it was like.
So yeah.
It was.
So what are the names?
Okay, so here we will show them on camera eventually. This has just been the only position that I can get them in right now. But this is Elio, Tula, Hill, Qualia. And when I was just
when she was born.
When she was born, the moment that I saw her, I was like, oh, this is Elio. And which is like first met her eyes and said, oh, this is Elio. And this is Rumi, Florence, Hill, Qualia.
So all together it's Safia, Rumi, and Elio.
Safia, Rumi, and Elio, yes. So those are the names.
And that's it? Is that the end here? That's it.
You know what we're gonna do?
Go on Instagram, you'll see probably a better picture of who's who.
Yeah. And we're gonna do, Matisse and I are gonna do a video on names that we love but didn't use.
So stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for that. And lots more good stuff to come, right, babe?
That's right.
The cutest thing ever too was that when we like officially picked the names and we told Safi what the names were, she was like so cute about it, because I obviously was like telling her names sort of like throughout, and she didn't like them. Like she would tell me ones like where she was like, I don't like that name. And so when we told her these names, we were like Elio and Rumi, and she was like, yeah, I like those names. And when she calls them by their name, it's just the cutest thing ever. Thank you so much for tuning in. Twin life, right? Thank you so much for watching this week's video. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that little subscribe button to stay tuned for all of the exciting content that I have coming up. I'm so excited to start doing more videos. So thanks again, and we'll see you next week. Mwah. Ciao!